Jon Lipsky led a raid on the Rocky Flats plant to collect evidence of violation of federal environmental law. The only time the U.S. government has raided itself. Opponents of Rocky Flats had long insisted that the plant endangered people in the off-site areas where plutonium released from the plant had been deposited. Now the government itself was calling activity at Rocky Flats not simply harmful, but also illegal. Shortly after the raid, plant operator Rockwell International said they could not meet Department of Energy expectations without violating the law. Based on Lipsky's affidavit, a case was brought against Rockwell. The first Colorado special grand jury was convened to examine this evidence. But eventually, the Justice Department, without consulting Lipsky, reached a settlement with Rockwell. No individuals were indicted. Major charges against the company were dropped. It admitted guilt for lesser offenses, paid a fine, and received immunity from any further prosecution. The judge dissolved the grand jury and sealed all of the evidence. The Justice Department had apparently used the FBI raid not to reveal environmental crime, but to cover it up. The subsequent Superfund cleanup occurred without responsible parties seeing the evidence of environmental lawbreaking. And that material remains sealed to this day. Meanwhile, Lipsky was told not to reveal what he knew about illegal activity at Rocky Flats. In 1992, when he was subpoenaed to appear before a congressional committee in this very building, he was ordered to lie to that committee. This he refused to do. The committee's report two big fat volumes, which said the Justice Department had bargained away the truth, was published on January 4th, 1993. That same month, the FBI transferred Mr. Lipsky, its foremost environmental investigator, from Denver to Los Angeles. His new task in Los Angeles was to scrutinize violent street gangs. I thought I'd heard the last of Jon Lipsky, but in 2004, Wes McKinley, foreman of the Rocky Flats grand jury, and attorney Karen Balquity published The Ambush Grand Jury, how the Justice Department covered up government nuclear crimes and how we caught them red-handed. Lipsky figures very prominently in this remarkable book. He recently returned to Colorado, bringing knowledge that others of us lack. The Alliance for Nuclear Accountability honors Jon Lipsky for the 1989 raid on Rocky Flats to collect evidence of lawbreaking, then refusing to go along with the Justice Department's cover-up and now working closely with community groups to reveal the truth about Rocky Flats. Jon.
Wow. Thank you. My sincere gratitude to the Alliance for Nuclear Accountability, the 30 member organizations and groups, and the ANA nominating committee for this award. Dr. LeRoy Moore and the Rocky Mountain Peace and Justice Center, I appreciate your introduction and friendship. I extend my congratulations to the other ANA award winners. This ANA award is a high honor for me and my wife, Patricia. As an FBI agent, I took an oath of office to protect the United States Constitution and serve all of its citizens. I humbly accept this ANA award. It was almost 23 years ago in this very building, the Rayburn House office building, that I was subpoenaed to testify before the Wolpe Committee in 1992. It was a gloomy occasion, since I was caught between the thankless options of the threat of contempt of Congress if I didn't testify under the subpoena, or allowing a U.S. Department of Justice attorney to browbeat me into testifying falsely to support the U.S. Department of Justice decisions concerning the prosecution of environmental crimes at the Department of Energy's Rocky Flats plant. I was motivated by my wife, Patricia, my conscience, and the citizens I served to refuse the DOJ cover-up concerning Rocky Flats. I testified before the Wolpe Committee, and I testified truthfully, attempting to convey my disagreement with the so-called facts presented by DOJ. I soon learned that no good deed goes unpunished. That day in 1992, right here in the Rayburn building, was the end of my career as an environmental crimes investigator for the FBI. I'm sorry.
All right.
I had worked with some dedicated professionals on the Rocky Flats investigation and appreciated their abilities, but not their actions. However, over the past 15 years, working with the cadre of citizens, most of whom I did not know, but had sworn to protect, reminds me daily that my decision to truthfully testify was correct. I wish to sincerely thank, in particular, my wife Patricia, daughters Tricia, Rachel, and Kristen, and Miss Karen Balcony, Esquire. In closing, the plight of the nuclear weapons workers, especially Rocky Flats nuclear weapons workers like Jackie Brever and George Berry, deserve the attention and action of us all. In 1999, then Energy Secretary Bill Richardson publicly apologized to nuclear energy workers. In 2000, the Energy Employees Occupational Illness Compensation Program Act was enacted. Secretary Richardson had noted that nuclear worker compensation is a national debt, long overdue, as nuclear workers paid the highest price possible for their service. However, this long overdue compensation is being delayed and restricted by the Energy Department and its contractors for record alteration, falsification, destruction, and marginalization of credible witnesses. The Alliance of Nuclear Workers Advocacy Groups, ANWAG, and the Energy Employees Claimant Assistance Project are reputable organizations worthy of your support and assistance concerning nuclear worker compensation claims. Also, please visit Rocky Flats and BushGrandJury.com for information concerning the facts of the FBI raid, the contamination of Rocky Flats, and digitizing hidden document collections. This ANA award epitomizes one of Maya Angelou's inspirational quotes. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Thank you very much for your encouragement.
Thank you, John, for the very inspiring remarks, and LeRoy for the introduction. Before we go to the next awardee, I want to recognize a